Testing, testing, one, two, three. This should probably work. This is the second time recording because I definitely recorded the last time and did not press the mute button here. Awesome. All right. Um. Hi. Welcome to our PowerPoint presentation. My name is Kevin. My teammates are Jatin and Mahina. We ended up doing a lot of work for this project, and I would first off like to thank the professor for the opportunity given to us to do such an interesting project in Wireshark and in general. Let me start with let me start with how much uh, our first hurdle. Our first hurdle was always to figure out, hey, how do you set up an email server so it's easier for us to read email, because almost every email is encrypted these days. Very difficult to figure out encrypted emails, and there was an attempt in actually figuring out the wrong unencrypting, but that was not part of the requirements. We needed to figure out SMTP, Imap, and POP protocols which are outdated these days. However, are it's very good as a learning resource to us. So first off, we figured out that we needed a way to run a separate mail server, and then we were thinking of getting extended server. However, I do not believe we were able to acquire that in time. However, there is a workaround. um Mailhawk is a wonderful one where Mailhawk is a wonderful service that's provided by someone named Jim. Mailhawk in this absolutely best person, this one. They connect up to the port 1025 and 8025. Where did you write it, buddy? It's written somewhere. Come on. um I hope everything is fine because like they told me to do. Yeah, like they open up on mail on port 1025 and then figure out from there. Now, here's the main thing: we needed to connect to this without active. Oh, there we go. SMTP port is in 1025 and 8025. We need to connect to this. To connect to this, we needed to run on the background. However, we were not able to. The original idea was a Python program, but then to simplify things, we just downloaded Docker. Docker is a program that lets you run things in the background while everything else runs normally. It reduces memory usage, everything. So, in order to connect to this, what we did is we ran that command. We'll run that command again because this is the second time I'm recording. Docker run -d opening port 1025 and also the port 8025 in Mailhawk slash Mailhawk. There is precedent in writing a name here, but I decided to skip the name because I'm not smart. As you can see, it has opened a mail with its own name, admiring black burn, something along those lines. Not going to question it. Nonetheless, it's now we have a connection to the thing. So this local host that cannot be reached can now be reached into this a Mailhawk server for our own making. Two Python scripts were then written. At first, we were going to write all the emails using the PowerShell. That was a lot of work, as it turns out. So instead, what we did instead is like write a Python program to send the emails. We have SMT library random time to send it in multiple seconds. We have a host which is the local host, and then the port 1025 as instructed. This 50 subject, text body, HTML bodies, something along those lines. Send email will send exactly one email to the person. However, we want to send it in batch, so this just loops the send email function. Let me show you in action. I want three emails. One, two, three. Three emails of three random options taken from this. However, this will not make any sense unless we are able to capture these messages. So in order to do that, we opened up Wireshark. Uh, because this is within the area, we are going to use adapter for loopback traffic capture. Because it's everything is run in local host. If we had the resources and the funds in order to encode Gmail, we would be running it in Wi-Fi and learning from other people. Yet we don't live in we right now. We are just doing it in the local host. Here is the next then. So let me send, let's say, 10 emails this time. See how that goes. Run module. It'll ask me how much I want. 10 emails, and As the emails keep reducing, this keeps increasing. Wonderful thing, actually, honestly, because you realize that a lot of this thing keeps working awkwardly. Now, in order to check these, if you notice, some not a single one of these are written as SMTP. That's because the PC SMTP is so outdated that the PC sometimes does not recognize that it's actually SMTP. We have to tell it to make sure it's SMTP. For example, this packet starts from 1025 to the PC's address, I assume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on here and then decode as. You will see me do SMTP. And suddenly we have a bunch of SMTP protocols. We can check it by saying something along the lines of like SMTP, and it will only show me the SMTP packets. But I prefer to do TCP port double equals TCP dot port. Okay, tab doesn't work. Learning using port dot port double equal 1025. Right. If I hit enter, it will only filter the ports that are going to the 1025 and 8025-ish area. Because our port 2025 is connected to 8025, this should cover everything. Now I can, or we can, sit here and read every email by going to follow TCP stream, but that will take a lot of effort considering that we sent about 10 emails within this thing. I haven't stopped this. As good practice, always remember to stop this. Um, file, you go to export. I want to export all of these packets, so I'm going to export them as test underscore smtp underscore. In order to read all of this, I wrote, or we wrote, a second uh, SMPT reader. This was originally an SMPT reader, but now it's also become an IMAP and POP reader because they are very similar protocols with a few changes. Now, here I would like to write the name of the file that we runs this test smtp underscore 8. So let's see this Python. This is what it is. I'm gonna close this. Then, test underscore smtp underscore 8 dot pcap.png. Pcap.png. Oh, I deleted my dot. There you go. All right. So now if I run this, as you can see, it started reading all of it and started saying found SMPT in all of the gives you the sender email, the recipient email, if there's any attachments or anything along those lines. This is pretty good. The thing is, we can also change the text in order. Right now, it just extracts the entire text data, but if we want anything else, we can also modify the program enough that it feels better for us. Updated is a pop and IMAP capture made by Jatin, and I'm gonna see if that also works here. It's called updated pcap, and I run this. Okay, voila. Exactly, it says found pop. I don't know if you have IMAP in this. I need to check that. But this was our This is our project. We made a Python program in order to analyze the script, and then from this we can also tell if something is phishing, it's a phishing email or not. We are able to very clearly read what it is, and then go from there. We thank once again, we thank the class and the professors for the opportunity for us to do such a wonderful program. With that, I thank you.